What's going on?
What's going on?
What's up,
car
folks?
guys and car gals? This is Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And this is Frelin Arts, the subprime hero.
And we are Brewing Solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast. And we are super pumped up to have a great conversation with an incredible individual that loves to roll with the champions. And I love it. Folks, there is so much that's going on in everybody's world right now. And we are excited to just have a quick cup of coffee and a conversation with a Solutionary. But do us a favor. You know what they need to do, right?
I mean, you all need to share this. Tag a car guy, car gal, or anybody who's looking to grow right now. If you're somebody out there that's motivated and ready to do something and need a little bit of caffeination in your drink, give us a shout, man. Send some people out there. Let them know that Car Guy Coffee is ready to go right now. We're ready to grow. We got somebody today that's going to help you guys get to the next level in the car business. He is doing some amazing stuff. His company, we're going to get deep in it. But iPrecheck LLC, folks, go check that out while we're in here. If you want to just do a quick search while we're doing all our intros, check them out because Blake Norberg is ready to show you guys what it's all about. We're going to get into a 5-liner with him today. I'm super excited about that. We're going to ask him 5 questions. We're also going to get about his business a little bit. This might be a little bit of an extended little thing, but we want to talk about iPrecheck because iPrecheck is the hottest new thing coming through the business right now, and Blake is all excited right now to talk about it. So, folks, make sure you share. Make sure you let people know. Come on in this room. Get into the cafe this morning.
Who do you like?
It is time
to get a cup of coffee for. Well, if you can't send them an actual physical cup of coffee, send them a cup of car guy coffee by tagging them, getting them in the cafe. Here we go. Car guys and car gals, welcome to the podcast. Let's brew. Hey, Fred, what's the biggest room in the world?
It's the room for improvement.
Oh, you said that.
You're welcome.
Oops. Get you some of that.
You know what's up.
Think Ad Group, Dealership Toolkit, those two found a way to really work together to make sure that they find solutions for your business. Make sure that you reach out. But like you saw, it didn't even play the video right. Guess what I have a whole lot of room for? Improvement. That's right. So car guys, car gals, make sure that you are taking a look deep within, pulling off the layers that maybe everybody else sees. Maybe it's a little discreet, but just to find out that underneath you are elite. Oh my goodness. Sometimes, I don't know. Do we sound a little salesy? Sound a little cheesy?
A little bit, but that's okay.
Whatever.
That's what
it's okay.
I like my pizza cheesy.
I like a cheesy
I like my pizza cheesy.
Give me some of that.
Throw me some of that cheesy pie.
Hey, that's a spicy meatball.
So spicy.
Speaking of spicy meatballs, guess what's on its way to you soon? Cargal Coffee.
Woo!
Man, we cannot tell you how excited and how pumped up we are about that. So many things are coming to the culmination of that first and incredible brew that's going to be available for all of you all. If you know some professional people that want to brew solutions with some people that talk about it different than a couple of car guys, but they talk about it like a couple of car gals, man, you need to get them inside of the cafe because they tell it like it is and they laugh until you laugh, and it's an amazing experience having a cup of coffee and a conversation with them. So make sure that you find out more about them. But they make things better, just like our friends at Exogloss that rock it out, making sure that you have the right appearance.
You know it.
Protection.
You want it to. Hey, folks. Guess what's going up? What's the thing that comes after what's going on right now? It's next, right? And guess what's next? The next sale. Make sure you guys get up on that next sale.
Without further ado, car guys and car gals, we are going to be bringing to you the incredible brew that is on its way. I don't know how you're watching this, if it's on a phone, if it's on a computer screen, if it's on a desktop, if it's on a laptop, if it's on an iPad, wherever it is, it probably has the same button somewhere. And it's the share button. Share it real quick. Give it a quick share, because this is an incredible solutionary that's coming through and bringing a solution to you. He's bringing you solutions just like this. We are so getting ready to go. Car guys, car gals.
Did you guys hear that? That was so awesome. I know you all heard it in the background. It was that lady's voice go. What was that? You know, hey, I don't blame him. If I was watching Car Guy Coffee, I'd make the same noise, right? So, folks, good morning, good morning, good morning. We're so excited. We have some guests in here already this morning. We got Jay Woolridge. Thank you so much for being here. Charles Higgins, my man. Robert Jacko. I know Robert Jacko is a great person. I know that actually he knows Blake. And, man, there's a lot of great words I could say about Robert Jacko. He's somebody I've had a great conversation with. I've seen him do some amazing stuff. So thanks for being here this morning, Robert. You're a great guy. We also got DJ up in the Heezy. I thank you for sending out some names. He put Rudy's name in there, Michelle Maltese. Yes, that's
Brew Solutions.
That's folks. My dude. So
speaking of Brew Solutions, we got a solutionary inside of the building. He's in the back room, but we are about to bring him through right now. Car guys, car gals, and all you solutionaries out there, do us a quick favor and welcome Blake Norberg.
He even got his hoodie on now. He tried to feel. He's getting where he fits in, right? You guys can see that this guy's got good taste in football, right? He knows who the team is. Matter of fact, he didn't just pick it because he's a bandwagon guy. The guy went to school in Alabama. I mean, he is alumni. He believes in the program, not just for football, but in every sport they do. He believes in that school, and he'll do anything he can to help promote that school. And I love that. And he's very true pride in that Crimson Tide. You know what I mean? So I love that. So welcome to the team. Welcome to the cafe. Let's get this day going. What's up, Blake?
Not much, guys. Just glad to be home finally. It was a long day yesterday. Was in 2 different states. Woke up in the Gulf of Mexico and on the beach, meeting with a big dealer group down there, and then had to drop my partner off the airport and come back up to Birmingham. Headed to Atlanta tomorrow, though.
Man, that's awesome. You are busy. I know you've been hustling, man, and that's the only way to be. You know, and I see that you do that. You don't just do that with business. You also do that in your personal, like with the way you work out, with all those things. I know you just finished the 75 strong. Congratulations on that, man. I know that's a hard task to accomplish. That's 2 days. That's 2 times a day, one inside, one outside workout. And that's no drinking. That's reading a book. That's so many things involved in that to help you grow. And you did that, and you did it like a gentleman, man. You crushed it. So way to go, bro.
And for anybody out there thinking about doing it, I mean, it's a life changer. I mean, it really.
I'm borderline. It's a big commitment, but I'm borderline right now.
Big commitment, yes. Do people fail and have to start over? Yes. I think I read the book. Like 3% of people actually finish the program. But it gets those habits that you should be doing kind of ingrained in you. They say it takes 66 days to form a habit. Well, you're doing this for 75 days.
I agree with that because and there's no doubt in my mind it takes a long time. Now you can start things, but in order to make it a real true body habit, it does take about 66 days. I've read different stories about how long it takes. Some people say it takes a full 90 days, not 87. I've heard that before. I've heard 15 days. I've heard all these different ones, but I honestly believe you hitting it right on the number about 66 days. When you get into that little over a 2-month mark, you start to, should I keep going? And then once you break through that threshold, you're there, man. And you're definitely doing that, man. You look good too, bro. Looking like you're in good shape. You look like you're ready to go. You're ready to just throw some hands and stuff. Let's make this happen, man. So, you know, we like to have a lot of fun here at the cafe, man. And we're going to ask you some questions. And these questions are about how you got to where you're at today, you know. And my very first question I like to ask everybody is the same one. But before we do all these questions, we always we're going to throw hands. And what we do is we're going to do the forgive, focus, fly with you, my friend. Right. It's so important to do. And I'm going to have Lou break it down for you real quick.
So I'm sure that you've ran into a few situations where you've fallen a little short or somebody's shorted you. Sure that you've ran into situations that you have had to forgive others when maybe they didn't deserve it because you've been forgiven because we can truly never really earn it.
Right.
It's a decision that comes from you to you and to others, and that's to forgive. Otherwise, the weight of unforgiveness will stop you from accomplishing what it is that you want to accomplish inside of your life, and you won't be able to fly being weighed down. So we apply 3 F's. We forgive first. We then focus on where it is that we want to go. So we forgive it, then we focus, and then we aim out and we fly, and then we keep growing, and we keep doing bigger things. The more that we forgive others and focus on what it is that we can do together. But usually once we're in a lifestyle of forgiving other people, then the hardest thing to forgive is yourself. You know, I know that I could have put a little bit more in today. I know that I could have gotten that project done, or I could have put in that extra rep, or I could have read that extra book, or I could have got that extra deal, or whatever it is. Car guys, you know where it is that you fall short on the daily basis. We want to make sure that we continuously encourage you to focus on what you can improve on right now, because the biggest room in the world is
the room for improvement, you know,
right.
and folks, that's what it's all about. And the more you can improve, the better it can be. And that's what's so beautiful about the 3 F's, man. It can really, if you break it down logically and you think simple, it's those 3 words. It is that simple. You just need to forgive. You really do. Forgive everything, man. Let it go. Focus on what you want. Blake knows what I'm talking about. Blake focuses his ass off, man. And no, seriously, I mean, guys, if you guys haven't been watching Blake in the last, I've been paying attention to him for the last basically year. I've seen where he's been going. I see where he's trying to get to, and he's doing it. And he's doing it with class. You know, he comes from a good pedigree of car people too. That's not, you know, so it's almost like pressure on him to do well, but he's doing it in his own way. He's not doing it in the same path as his predecessors were. He's doing it his own way. He's carving his own path. He's taking the path of that was least taken, right? I love that about Blake. So thank you for being here this morning. And let's get this forgive, focus, fly thing going, man. Let's do it.
Cross your arms with me real quick. On 3, we're going to wipe it off. We're going to focus and we're going to fly. 1, 2, 3, forgive. Focus. Fly. And keep growing. Keep growing. Keep growing. Yeah.
What's up?
Here
there
we
it
go.
is.
Now,
we got Blake in the house.
Already.
You are now in the team. You are part of the cafe official forever. You are now a Car Guy Coffee approved. Let's make this happen, my friend. I'm pumped up. We're going to ask you these 5 questions. These 5 questions are fun. The first question is always the same one. It's your why. What is the purpose? What makes you wake up every day and say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it the best that I possibly can. I'm going to make sure that I am going to stay growing. What is that?
Just to maximize my potential, my God-given potential, you know, and really, you know, focus on, you know, typically 4 or 5 different areas of my life, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually, you know, obviously financially, you know, and help my team grow, be a, you know, a team player, put the team first, and really go out and, you know, win the day. That you know, people talk about New Year's resolutions. I talk about winning the day.
Come on.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Kind of
small accomplishments become big accomplishments. Daily accomplishments become weekly accomplishments, which turns into monthly accomplishments, which turns into a year of just amazing work, folks. It always seems like it takes so long to do something. Oh, this whole year. No, years go by fast. Folks, we can attest to every year seems faster than the last one. 2020 flew by. 2021, it's already over a month old, folks. We're into the 2nd month already. What are you doing?
If we learn anything from 2020 is like, you know, we can't take the day for granted. You know, we've got to be grateful. We've got to wake up with an attitude of gratitude and not take your health for granted. That's for sure. Not, you know, not take life for granted and just go out and win the day.
Dude, love it, man. You got a great attitude, and you definitely always have, man. I like it, man. You almost got that surfer feel to you, even though you're from Alabama, but you've been up to the coast quite a bit. You really do. You got that, you know, hang loose feel, you know, and I like that.
I'm from LA, but I've spent a lot of time in LA, my friend.
Now it all makes all the sense in the world now. I get the vibe of you, man, and I love that vibe. It's a very chill vibe.
LA, I'm talking about Lower Alabama, but I've spent a lot of time on the
I knew I had a feeling you were gonna hit me with that, dude. You know what's so funny is that I was in the Air Force many years ago, right? And when I joined, this is in the 90s, and when I was at technical school, one of my favorite instructors of all time. I can't remember his name, and I wish I did, but he would always, first time we met him, we're in class. He was, you know, teaching us I did electronics on jet. So he's teaching us electronic stuff. And he was like, hey man, you know, you got that accent. Hey man, listen, y'all know where I'm from? We're like, no, where are you from? He goes, I'm from LA. And he said, I was like, really? What? Seriously? He goes, no, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Los Angeles. He goes, no, man. Lower Alabama. I absolutely loved it. That's the first time I ever heard that. And this is like in 97. And he was so funny and he was so cool. That personality, having that Lower Alabama accent, that Lower Alabama lifestyle, because it's very much like a Southern California lifestyle, very relaxed, you know, enjoy life. The weather's great. We're going to just do things, you know?
And when I was out in LA working at this big dealership out there, that they actually had a salesman there. That his name was Alabama, and the guy sold like 50 cars a month, but he was from Alabama, and they called him Alabama.
You know, it's supposed to be a different place whenever you get if you're from Kentucky, that's when you call somebody Alabama. No, I think that's awesome. Though 50 cars a month. That's because he's from Alabama. Where you all want to go? I'm gonna go Greenbow, Alabama. So no, man, that's really awesome. You know, you definitely have that swag about you, and I love it, man. And that's something that I always liked about you, because you're so just cool. And I'm sure that it works really well with you when you go talk to dealers. They probably love it because they don't feel pressure from you at all. They just feel like you just want to help, and you're willing to do it with a good attitude. And I love that. And
willing to walk a mile in their shoes. You know, I think that's big too. You know,
it is, man. No doubt about it.
I mean, that's what it's like when you really build relationships, right? You really build relationships rather than seek revenue. Wow. You know, the way that we were taught in many cases was grow up, pick a job that makes a lot of money, do it, and repeat the cycle again and again. You know, no dreams, no nothing, fit into the box this way. And this is how the education system's going to have to work so that you can do a thing.
Yep.
Well, all of those molds have been broken over time, whether it's been in sports, or it's been in the automotive industry, or it's been in any sort of creative or entertainment. People have been breaking the mold constantly because there really isn't a limit to us except us.
Our own. Yeah, we limit ourselves.
We're the ones that put the stop on what it is that we can actually do. And it, you know, different things influence us. Sometimes we do incredible things because we constantly have people pouring into us. We constantly have good coaches. We constantly have good friends and mentors. We constantly have good books, you know, mentors in a box, right, that are pouring into us. We constantly have a podcast in the ear, like the Car Guy Coffee podcast. Anyway, but we constantly have something going inside of us that is making us be better. And that's often what's going to pour back out of that cup. Same thing on any level. But if you don't cultivate that, you can grow a lot of weeds. You can get stagnated. And during the COVID, it was easy. You said guard your health, mainly because it's so easy to not do anything. It was so easy for people to not do anything in their business, in their career. And that's where people, I think, felt it the worst, is that they felt like they're not being completed. They're not being used. You know, a person on a team wants to feel like they're part of a team.
Right.
A person that's accomplishing a goal together wants to feel like they're part of accomplishing that goal together. Whether you sat on the sideline or you were in the game, you know, from beginning to end, you got the same ring, but there's something different when you feel as though you were part of the team. And you can still be on the sideline and never play it down, right? And it be an actual contributor to the team and it's and the atmosphere, right?
And still get a championship
completely
ring.
There. That's what everybody wants. Everybody wants that. Everybody wants that opportunity to be part of a team. And I'm so glad that you're bringing that in and that culture is getting shifted around, because ultimately what we're trying to do is accomplish a goal for the buyer, the person doing business. We're trying to accomplish their goal.
Yep.
And the dealer is trying to get in line with that goal, right? And be able to right fit it, facilitate it, and make it in a streamlined process, as smooth as possible. Smooth.
Operator.
Lake Norberg, sitting right here, just chilling, keeping it hanging loose, right? But I want to ask you this. What was it that made you make the transition into the automotive industry that is allowing all of these experiences to start to weld together? What was it that brought you in the car business?
I mean, literally, I grew up on a showroom floor.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I was rummaging through some stuff, and this is an ad from back in the 80s. My father did a training session with the Alpha Dog.
Oh.
And what's crazy is this is me in the
What?
ad.
Put that up further on the screen. Put that up further.
Oh, dude, that is the coolest thing
so awesome.
in the freaking world, bro. Wow, look at that car behind you. That's so awesome. Man, dude, look at you. You were born to sell. You came out with your hand out like, how you doing today, sir?
So I've got this framed somewhere, but I it's not here at this office right now. But I did not want to get in the car business, man. I grew up around it. You know, I didn't see my father for 4 or 5 days. He'd go out on the road and hustle and, you know, sell credit insurance back in the 80s when everybody had credit insurance on their loan, whether they knew it or not.
So true. So true.
And then he got into the Gap when Gap came around. I mean, he rode the waves, and I saw him do just amazing things. And I did not want to get in the car business, and actually started in the mortgage business. And then I got kind of frustrated with that. And my dad said, well, you need to go talk to this big warranty company and at least hear them out. And they put me in a car dealership for a weekend and you know, asked me to take notes what I saw about the F&I office. And then I started out as one of those what they call a rent Orion, where you travel all over the country, and you either sink or swim. You go and work and do finance at a dealership. So I got to learn everything from do everything from washing cars, help wash cars, sell cars, desk deals. So I learned the F&I side, and I got really good at that. And then Mama called, just like, you know, you hear Bear Bryant. Mom called, and I worked in Atlanta for a couple of years with the big warranty company, and handled some big stores like Penske and Carl Black, and then I came back and worked with my father for 10 years. I worked at every one of his dealerships. You know, did a week here, did a weekend there, helped him develop some more, you know, income streams, and then I just kind of got complacent. You know, I wanted to go do something else. I mean, you know, that's when I met another guy in the car business who also had a father that had about 35 dealerships, and he taught me the digital marketing side. So I took a leap of faith, and as Steve Harvey says, I jumped off the cliff, you know, and did my own thing.
I love it, man. I love the quote. Steve Harvey's got some good ones.
And the parachute didn't open at first, and then I got really good at selling websites, and they sold the company, and had the rug pulled out from underneath me. You like you said, you got to forgive and forget, you know. And man, I landed this iPrecheck program that we're going to talk about at some point. Solution, you know, landed in my lap. I vetted it through one of my best friends in the car business, and I went all in and sold my way back, gentlemen.
Hey, and it's just the beginning of the rise, you know. And I think that you got something here, and I think that you're very passionate about it. The thing is about anything is, if you have passion, it will do something great. You have to put the time in, put the work in, and you will get back everything you put into it if you believe in that product. And I know you do, and that's awesome, man. And the story of going through all those things, getting into the business, you're right. You know, when your parents are in the business, a lot of times you're like, I ain't going to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to do something of my own. But then, you know, you go off, you try, and then you realize, man, this business, and that's the thing about the car business. It's very difficult. It's not, excuse me. It's very easy to get attached to the car business because there's so many different avenues that you can be part of it, right? You can be F&I, you could be a salesperson, you can be cleanup, you can own a detail department if you want. There's so many levels of each one of those spots too, right? And then, you know, being an owner, then being a vendor, you know, and becoming a vendor can be a big deal too, because that opens you up to the whole nation.
And being, you know, being a vendor can be, you know, a lot of people that make the transition from the retail side to the vendor side are get a rude awakening, because it is tough when you have, you know, doors slammed, people, you know, cut you off, or, you know, say no, and sometimes it takes 4 or 5, you know, it takes a lot of persistence, you know.
It does, you know, you're right.
And you don't have the up bus just, you know, unloading leads on you. You got to sometimes learn to generate your own leads, which I think the best salesmen in the car business, by the way, are those ones that use tools like Next Sale or Facebook to, you know, generate their own leads. And I just did a call this morning with LinkedIn on how to generate more leads through LinkedIn by, you know, it takes work. You know, and you guys have done a phenomenal job with, you know, with what you guys do. And that's why I wanted to come on and be with you guys and learn from the best, you know?
Yeah, dude, it's, you know, when you feed off each other, feed off each other, you learn ideas and you share ideas and you grow. Yes, we do work our asses off, but, you know, we do that because we have the same kind of passion you have for what we do. You know, we want to get it out there. We want to get people like you and get people to hear the stories, you know, about how you can do this, how you can work for a company. Company could just dump itself and say, you know what, you don't have a job anymore. And you like you said, you forgave, you forgot, and you went ahead and focused on what you wanted. You found iPrecheck, bro. And then you're like, I'm going to explode this and I'm going to fly with this. And you did that. Kudos to you for that. The story is amazing. I love all the stuff that you're talking about here because you're bringing up some really good points. You're bringing up things that people need to hear because it's not always easy. It's not always the path of least resistance. Matter of fact, the path of least resistance sucks. There's nothing there for you. You don't grow. You just stay constant. You're just comfortable. Who wants to be comfortable? I mean, don't get me wrong. That word comfortable sounds really good. You know, having your blanket, you feel great. But folks, when you want to grow, there's no way that comfortable is going to work for you. No, think comfortable is a bad word. If you can change that in your brain, because when you want to, if your body is changing and you're trying to do the 75 hard, you can't be comfortable doing 75 hard. You can't be comfortable doing 10 hard, right? You have to work your body to pass its breaking point. It's like doing push-ups. When you're doing push-ups, if you stop right when it started hurting, you didn't gain anything. You have to push through that pain. You have to keep pushing until you can't do what I call muscle failure. That is when you get results. The only way you get results is through the uncomfortable. So Blake is showing that. Blake, I think that business doing what it did was the best thing ever that could have happened for you. Because you probably at one point, and I'm going to guess, you were getting comfortable there. You were doing really well. You were doing fine. And all of a sudden you were like swept. They just took that rug from underneath your feet. And you're like, whoa, what am I going to do? Uncomfortable. And then you grew from that. And look at you. You got a smile on your face. You just knocked out 75 hard this year. You're doing more things than you could ever imagine. And you're doing it. And it was like, no big deal. On to the next thing, right? I'm going to keep growing and I'm going to keep going.
And then there's phase 1 where you take the 5-minute cold shower. So that's talking. So now you're really starting to.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Oh, yeah. That's I try to do that. Like Tony Robbins talks about cold showers too. He says that it's like you take these cold showers. It energizes you. It wakes you up. It does all this stuff. I try to do it. Woo!
Like, the first minute, if you can get past the first minute, you know, it's all about the breathing. I think. Yeah. You know, it's not so bad, and especially after you read those, you read David Goggins' "Can't Hurt Me," and they're and when they're going through the SEAL training, you know, swimming out, you know, that's tough.
SEAL training, yeah. David Goggins knows what he's talking about. Absolutely amazing person. You know, you want to talk about somebody who stays uncomfortable. That is the definition of uncomfortable. This guy goes.
He makes all this stuff look easy. You know,
he does, and it's true though. But that's the thing. Like, you know, we as human beings, we kind of got into comfort levels in life. We have AC in our house. We have, you know, a refrigerator in our house. We have a bathroom, multitude of bathrooms in your house. There was a time in this world not that long ago where you all had to go outside to use the bathroom. We all had to get running water from the freaking, you didn't have running water. You went to the freaking pond or you went to the spring and you pulled up water for the day and you drank that water and that's what you used to cook, eat, clean, all that stuff. And life was not easy. Air conditioning was non-existent. A refrigerator, come on. People had to eat their food what they had. That was it. Whatever you ate, it was good until it was bad. There was no
that's
put
like
it in a
for
refrigerator.
a lot of people.
And
right
still
now,
I mean, that the world
right
still
now
has that going on. You know, we're very fortunate here in the beautiful country of the United States that we have some amenities that are just way above and beyond what most people in the world have, that are standard amenities to us. To other people, that is luxury, like straight up luxury to have more than one bathroom in the house, a bathroom that runs in the house. You know, anyway, you know, I don't want to get too deep about that, but you know, Blake, there's a lot of things that we do when we get in this business, and there's people that we meet when we get in this business. And I know that your father is a big influence on you. And obviously you already kind of threw his name in there when he was telling you, hey, go check out this warranty company. But as you were coming up in this game, I know you got friends, and I know you got, you know, other people that you would consider like good car people or good business people or somebody who was a good mentor. Out of all of them, you know, you don't have to pick one, but if there was one, who would it be? You know, who's that one guy that really helps you make that pivot?
There's a couple of guys. I mean, yeah, I think you know, I have a buddy. He helped grow the website company. A guy named Brett Sutherland. He kind of had a really, you know, big effect on me on really becoming a sales machine. You know, you know, unleashing the 10x within me, I guess, you know, getting me, you know, turned on to Cardone University, turned on to 10x. You know, I've had some other guys like Dave Anderson come into my life, you know, Chris Martinez. I've been, you know, if you really want to be good, you surround yourself with the best.
Boom.
Come on.
You level up by that way.
You know, I've had other people that have somehow I've come in contact with, but you know, Chris Martinez, I think is awesome example. One of the humblest guys I've met in the car business.
No doubt.
The guy sold 1,000 cars a month, and he's still a friend, client. You know, I pick his brain all the time. You know, and he's just, you know, when you put people like that in your circle, that they make you better. They inspire. You know, you got to have, you know, a wolf pack almost. I guess
you're right, man, and you put that so right. And folks, if you're not hearing what he's saying, you're not picking up what he's putting down. Is that who you surround yourself is who you become. Listen, if you put yourself around people who give up and quit and they don't care and they're not trying to grow, you're going to do the same thing. It's the way it works, folks. Just like when you grew up in high school, when you hung out around people, if they were doing bad stuff, you started doing the bad stuff. If they were doing the right stuff, you were doing the right stuff. We all know how it is. It's hard for us as people. We tend to move with the crowd, and even if you don't want to, it's just kind of like what we do. So if you want to grow, find 5 people that you think that are amazing or something like that. You know, it doesn't have to be 5. I'm just saying, find people. He's talking about Chris Martinez. Folks, we just interviewed him the other day. This dude is amazing. Chris is very humble, like he said. Chris is the kind of guy that if you called up and asked for advice, he's going to give it to you. He always finds time for people that are looking to grow. He's not, you know, he recognizes real, right? So when you recognize that, it's easy to pour into them. Like, it's hard for me to pour into somebody I know that's full of crap. Like, I know that they're just going to keep stumbling, even though I could I've gave this guy 20 tips, yet this guy never takes one, and he keeps doing it, and he keeps coming to me like he wants something. It's like, dude, listen, it's time for you to do it. Just do it, you know. But you definitely right on that. You hit that on that nail, like bink, you knock it in one hit. You're like, you surround yourself with people that you want to emulate and you want to be like, you know, and you want to reach it. And some matter of fact, it's like the whole hiring process. When you hire people, you want to hire people that are, if you're a B type person, you want to hire A type people to work for you, because that will bring your level up. That will make you an A-type person. And it's the way it works.
And like, you know, like Bear, I remember when I was at Alabama, we watched a video in management class on who we thought the best manager was ever. And they showed a video of Bear Bryant, and but he always surrounded himself with, he had the guys that were smarter than him, that knew the X's and O's. And then he also, he had the guys that could motivate the players. I mean, just like you see now with that other coach that's in Tuscaloosa. What was that guy's name again?
Gosh, I don't know, man. He's kind of new.
But he's on a different level, man.
Unbelievable. I mean, when you're talking about coach, that is it. Like, that's like, I think every program in the country would take him on at any moment. Like, hey, they just can't afford him. Not all of them. But he's worth every penny. There's no doubt. He brings so much to a program. He brings players. He brings intensity. He brings a process, and that process is unfathomable. I mean, people come in, when they get into that process, not only does the team win, but those players, they all go off and they do amazing stuff, not just in football, but in life.
Right.
He is a life coach. He helps these young men cultivate to become people in the community that will help the community, that will make the community better wherever they go. You see these players go to these, if they even play NFL, like he puts people out in the community that we may not hear because they're not NFL players, but they go out and they do big things. They got an education now. They went to one of the greatest schools in the country. They get to go out. They also have Nick's, blessing. And that right there alone is a big deal. So no, I love it, man. We got some people jumping in. We got so many people just commenting. I haven't had a chance to talk about Stacy. She's saying it's the up bus. You got Mike Larkin talking some stuff up in here. Referrals are the best. Ask for 3 for every sale. That's my muscle memory. High school football coach used to say, "How good do you want to be?" That's facts. Good morning, says Alex. And then we got somebody, I'm not sure who it is, folks. He says, yo, and I know you're going to like this. Yo, roll tide, roll. So, yes, roll tide, roll. I know that he has a couple. Well, he at least has one Alabama fan. It's Logan.
Yes, Logan. Yes, he's
Logan's somebody I've known since he was a baby.
Make sure that he gets into the cafe today, but he's a legacy salesman as well, right? So his father joined up with us, got trained up by us, still works with us on a daily basis. We get to see his son grow, graduate, start off in detail, then say, hey, this is, he's seeing some of the people that come to say, hey, I need this cleaned up. And he's like, if they can do this, I can do this.
Right.
And so he steps up and he becomes an incredible servant and such an honor to watch him become who it is that he is. But he spent that time just like you, discovering himself, trying to figure out, what is it that I do like? What is it that I don't like? What is my persona? How do I fit inside of this niche? And I mean, trying to tie a lot of that together to go into this. But we talked about process. We talked about the up bus. When you're a vendor, guess what everybody thinks is going to happen when they spend some money with you? That the up bus is going to find your palace. It's going to find your dealership. You are the guy that's getting the up bus to me. And that pressure gets put on to so many vendors where they forget to say to the dealer or to who it is that they're on the mission with, hey, what is it that you're actually trying to accomplish and where are you trying to go? Because based off of where you're really trying to aim is the only way that I can accomplish what is supposed to get accomplished here. And people that pay a little bit much for a cup of coffee take coffee seriously. They take that seriously. Just like a establishment that brews it. You can have the best furniture, you can have the best equipment, you can have the best water source, you can have the absolute best of everything, the best flow, the best look, the best graphics, all of those things to have your coffee shop looking good. But if you don't get the right beans, if you don't get the right quality product inside of that entirely cool, awesome process you have, you're not going to have people coming that are wanting something good and coming back again, because you're going to realize that that's not good enough. Just because it all looks good, there has to be some true substance to it.
Always.
And there's always a price to pay for that substance, which is why people will spend extra money on their coffee by going to a Starbucks or going to another nice coffee shop, right? You're going to do that because a good cup of coffee is worth it. But speaking of Starbucks, right? Cheers. I know would you get that Starbucks? Hey, cheers.
Cheers to you, my friend. Man, I'm so glad you're here this morning, Blake. we've been, you know, I'm getting to know you. I've met you through the think tank and some things like that, but we've always kind of connected. And I'm, you know, like I mentioned earlier, you know, you got me into that 22 push-up challenge.
Yes.
And I really appreciate you getting me involved in that, because that was a big deal to us, man. I'm a veteran. He's a veteran.
Thank you for your service, my friend.
Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for doing the push-up challenge and inspiring me to do it. And as crazy as it sounds, like I remember when I started, people were like, why are you doing it? It's just push-ups. I was like, well, it's because it brings awareness. And believe it or not, it reached a lot more than you think. It reached a whole lot of people. It's like, it's just doing push-ups. I was like, well, listen, it reaches. And if you challenge somebody every day, even if only like 5 people, even if only one person did the challenge that you challenge, that's them doing it 22 times. That's them talking about it every single day for 22 days. That's them talking about what's going on with veterans, what's sad about what's going on with veterans. You know, it's unfortunate that that's happening. Veterans, they need to have more love thrown at them. They, you know, don't get me wrong. It's a job. They went out and they did it. They didn't get drafted to do it. But folks, if you've ever served and if you've ever been anywhere overseas and you had to see the things that these guys and gals have been through, you would understand what they're going through and why they think the way they think and the way they feel. They're young people who get influenced majorly. You got to think a lot of these kids, they're kids, 18 years old, joining the military, getting handed an M16 or M4, handing an M4 and say, hey, we're going to train you. Don't get me, they train them, but then we're going to send you out to the world. And we're going to put you somewhere that you've never seen, that is a war zone. You're going to see people and kids. You're going to see stuff that you just can't believe is happening. It's going to change you. And you're going to do all this stuff for basically minimum wage, right? That's basically how they get paid, you know, especially when you're not an NCO, when you're lower rank, E4 lower, E5 even, you know, but you're getting paid lower. And don't get me wrong, they don't do it for the money. They're doing it because they have pride for their country. But once again, they go there and then this happens. Folks, none of us can explain. Some people come back unscathed. They're fine. But a majority of them come back and there's some kind of PTSD going on. And I don't mean to go into a tangent about it, but I want to bring it up one more time just for a moment. Is just talk about these veterans, folks. If you're out there and you care, go out there and figure out a way to support. If you know veterans, make sure you reach out to them. Let them know you care. Let them know you're always got a shoulder for them to cry on, or an ear for them to listen to speak into, I should say. And that's all they need. They need somebody to hear their story, somebody to sympathize for them. It's hard to empathize. It's hard to put yourself in those shoes because none of us, unless you've been there, you don't know what that's like. I promise you don't have any idea what they've been through. And it's, you know, I know people and I know people who've been in situations where they're the only ones who came back from that situation. Imagine that. Imagine being all your best friends, everybody that you come up with, your hoorah, your battle buddies, you're all together and you're the only one who came back. That is hard. It's hard to believe. And then you're questioning yourself, why am I the one? That's unfair for them, you know, and understand that once again, they are mostly young people that are going through this, people who just started their lives. And this is their first reaction in real interaction in life is go out there and this happens. Now they come back and man, it's tough. It's tough for them to readjust to the real world. So support your veterans, folks. I'm not going to get too much more into it, but support your veterans.
I'll spend as much time as possible making sure that we raise awareness for who it is that actually puts themselves in front of us.
Yes.
To protect us. Yes. And we honor them. And I want to tie all of that together with understanding the price that is paid to accomplish greatness, right? We have freedom because people put their life on the line for it. We have the ability to do incredible things because people put the price beneath what they were willing to sacrifice. They laid themselves out. The word says, no greater love can a man have than if he lays his life down for his brother. And we do that for ourselves daily. We figure out how to do that on a team. We figure out how to do that in dealership culture, in business culture, in all of our relationships, right? Inside of a family.
Yep.
And all of these things, like I said, they come at a price. They come at an expense. And for the greater rewards are going to be a deeper expense. And all of the people that are joining us right now and all these solutionaries are some seriously quality people to be brewing with. And I want you all to know that we see that your success comes at a price and we get it. We celebrate that you can get past that. That's why we have Blake on here. He shows us that every day you can get past that challenge with a smile, with a word of encouragement for somebody else, because somebody else is facing the same challenge that you may be facing, or somebody else has already been through it. That's why it's important to have mentors that can say exactly what it is you're stressing and losing your mind over. Chill out, soldier. You're going to be okay. Calm down. You know what I mean? And so I say that to say, what would be the greatest or the hardest lesson that you've learned that cost you somewhat the most? What was the most costly lesson that you've had inside of this shift that you've had from going to being a legacy dealer to being who it is that you are today, that actually has your tentacles tapped into many different things in the automotive industry? You know what I mean? You've exploded outside of the box, like our friends at Dealership Toolkit, right? You have exploded into the market to help bring improvement. What's been the most costly lesson in that experience to you?
So you're asking me, right?
Yes.
I think just when you do something new, the most costly experience is not having. It's just like any organization, when you put the wrong people in the wrong roles sometimes, and like Dave Anderson says, you train, transfer, you terminate, right? And I think one of the things I've learned in the last 90 days is I've kind of rolled up my sleeves, and you have to inspect what you expect sometimes.
That's exactly right.
And get under the hood and take a look at what's going on. When you sell somebody something and it's not getting executed correctly, and you're trying to grow a company, that's not having those key personnel executing what you're selling, and so you can deliver the promise. That can be very costly.
I mean, that's actually, folks.
That's what maintenance is. Right?
What a great tip.
Do that.
Write that down, folks. That is a great one. It is about that, and he's 100% right. And when those types of lessons come around, you want to make sure that you learn those lessons and not repeat the same mistakes. You always want to keep doing those things. That's called insanity, when you keep doing the same thing expecting a different result, right?
That's right.
And so he's learning from that. I love that he used that word track. Inspect what you expect. That is the key to pretty much everything in life. You could translate that to your family life. You could translate that to your personal life. You could translate that to business. There's so many things that if you incorporate inspecting what you expect, it will change things. People a lot of times think and assume things are just going the way they should. And a lot of times when you go in and you double check, it's something, there's a kink in there somewhere and you need to fix it.
It gets frustrating, right?
It does get frustrating. And, when you inspect it, you find those things and you'll be able to correct it sooner than later. And before it becomes,
it's like listening to phone calls at a dealership,
Yep.
Oh my God. Yep. They're more funny. Like I used to get frustrated with them. Now I listen to them and I just kind of laugh, because it's like, listen, why get frustrated? Because, don't get me wrong.
That's why we're listening to this.
That's why we listen to them. I actually had a conversation with a salesperson the other day, and it was kind of a heated conversation a little bit. And I actually had to apologize, because I did kind of get loud and I kind of got mad, because they told me we shouldn't have our phone calls recorded. So I looked at him like, excuse you? And he was like, well, it actually makes us worse. I was like, oh, wow. So then I had to get worse. Right. I was like, first of all, you never answer the phone. Right. So I was like, you never answer the phone, so I kind of went on and I said, listen, the reason why that you're not getting any better at the things, because you're not even trying. You're trying to do it your way, and you're in understanding that your way doesn't work. That's why you don't want to answer the phone and be recorded. You need to do it our way. There's a certain reason why we teach you certain word tracks and certain scripts to speak to these people when there's an incoming phone call. So being recorded, you should be excited. I said, dude, if it was me, I'd be the baddest man on the phone. Because guess what? If I'm the baddest man on the phone, means I'm going to get the most leads, means I'm going to get the most phone calls, means I'm going to get more people to come in. I'm going to sell more cars. So why would you tell me that and I really got so upset. I was like, so I'm telling you that you need to answer my phones and you don't want to answer my phone. So why are you working here? That's basically how I got to that point. I was like,
and that is the biggest profit leak at most dealerships right now, is the phones.
It's huge, and here's the thing. And I think it's kind of a cross problem. And it's not a big deal. I think that it could be worked out, but we got to find. I think the solution for this would be great, and I'm sure there is. It's just training, and it's like you said, you got to inspect as a manager what you expect every single day. But like salespeople, at our store, me and Lou's stores, we have 2 different stores, but we're the same group. We train our guys to be good phone guys. I think above all, before they're even good salespeople on the floor, they're great on the phones. So we phone ninja them, we call commando them, we do everything. We got scripts, we got it all. We grade them, we record them, we do it all, right? And we do that because we know how important phones are and how important it is to do all that type of stuff. Now, there's dealerships that have the BDCs. We don't have one. Our guys are the BDCs. They call all the leads. They do everything. We train them. We do it all, right? And we have an accountability program, the whole 9. So that is what we do. A lot of dealerships, they have BDCs out there. And I'm not an advocate saying you don't need a BDC. BDCs are great. They're wonderful. BDCs are strong, especially when you have a real good BDC. But what happens a lot of times is the salespeople at those stores tend to get horrible on the phones because they're not used to being on the phones. They already have people who set the appointments for them. So the only thing they do is they overqualify on the phone, which you should never do. They talk too much about things. They're giving way too much information. They're not getting to the point of what's the most important thing about a phone call: setting the appointment, a confirmed appointment, right? You want to get that appointment confirmed, get them in here. That's all we're trying to do. Because the thing is, you could do, and don't get me wrong, in today's world, digital, we're doing all this stuff, but in the real life situation, the easiest way to sell a car is when they're right in front of you, period.
And that's what I love about iPrecheck, which we'll get into here in a little bit.
Yeah, definitely, man. So he's talking about a lot of this great stuff. So when we talk about things that we need to work on, or things that you struggled with and you found ways to overcome, let's talk about what your greatest reward is. This will be our 5th question, then we'll get into iPrechecks. I really want to talk about that for a little bit, get some fresh news out. We haven't done fresh news in a while. So let's talk about what your greatest reward has been, my friend. Since you've been in this business or in life, what has been one of the greatest rewards from doing everything and all the hard work that you do?
Well, I do like sports cars, but
hey, I know what you're talking about. You do like sports cars. I've seen some pictures, man. So yeah, they're definitely that's a great reward. But yeah,
I think the biggest reward for me is just is that, hey man, I left the family business and went out on my own and showed and I'm made it, and I'm still making it, and I am maximizing my God-given ability. I'm working every day to maximize. I would have had a million regrets if I had not done this, not doing what I'm doing now. Because my father was a legend back in the day, still is a legend in the car business. He's rode the waves of credit insurance, Gap. He did some just awesome things. Jim Ziegler still has a Corvette with a liquor bottle on his desk that my father gave him back in the 80s, the Alpha Dog. And it's unopened, he tells me. And that's
so cool.
I think it's some Kentucky bourbon.
I promise you. That's the best stuff in the world. I'm telling you. We got that bourbon quality. Down. It ain't bourbon unless it's from Kentucky.
But going out and doing it and not getting a handout and just going out, and there was some rough months there, and I didn't crawl back when things got tough, and my back was against the wall. I just focused on what I control, and that was my attitude, my effort, my work ethic, being grateful, energy, passion, and doing the extra work. This is an 8-day a week. This is
366 days a year.
But what's amazing is, if I got one thing out of the Cardone training, you can do anything with this piece of technology right here.
This is a blessing that we have here, folks. This is the best tool that any salesman can have right there. And any buyer, everything, any purchaser, any client, that's their best tool too. So understand and recognize that bullshitting people, lying to them, trying to get them to think something is the complete opposite. Guess what they have in their hand? They have a computer that they can look up all the stuff that you just said and make sure you're telling them the truth. So make sure that you always do. Integrity is a big deal, and huge. And so it's even a more big deal now because accountability is so much easier for people. It's so much easier for people to do research on you as a person. Because if you have any social media, we could look you up. We could find out what you do. who you are and what you're about. If you do business, we could figure out what your business is about and what's going on. If you have a product, I can look up reviews really quick and see what people are saying about your product, right? So make sure that you do that. Now, speaking of that, those things are all important, reviews, getting all that stuff done. That's why the Nextel app is an amazing app. You mentioned that earlier. And Nextel, not only does it help you do follow-up, help you engage with your customers and all that type of stuff, but it also helps you get those reviews that you need.
That's right.
And those reviews are huge. Reviews, because here's the thing. If you don't have enough reviews and somebody throws a bad one on there, it looks really bad. 1 out of like 4 is bad. People are going to be like, I don't know. That's why you got to have as many reviews. So always ask for the review as a salesperson, as anything. When you finish any type of presentation to somebody, ask for a review. Even if you don't sell them, hey, would you mind reviewing? If you telling me you loved everything I did, could you put a nice review out for me? And the Nextel app makes it simple as sending them a message, and they can go straight to your link. So I love the Nextel app. It's great. Blake. Let's get into this.
Yeah, let's celebrate that we just had a 5-liner with our friend Blake. Thank you so much. Everything that you said was fantastic. It is right in line.
He brought the power.
He brought the good brew.
That's what
I'm saying. He brought the good brew because he's a good bean.
Inspiration all day.
Solutions, and we're excited about that. Thank you so much for that bit. But we're gonna make a shift.
Yeah.
To some fresh news.
Fresh news is coming around. Let's get talking about iPrecheck, folks. This LLC is huge. He is proud of it. As you guys can see, it is growing, and he is going everywhere he can to make sure that every dealer in the country knows what iPrecheck is, right? I know that we're getting ready to get this going, folks. If you're a dealer out there, if you're somebody who's looking for a new product that's going to help change the game at your store, you better listen to what we're about to talk about, because this is going to be some great information coming from my man, Blake Balake. That's right.
There he is.
Mr. from LA, Laura, Alabama. News. That's what I'm talking about. So
on its way.
We're pumped up about that. Robert Sebastian's on here, and he's saying this was some great inspiration today, folks, and he's 100% right. This is great inspiration. Thanks for inspiring us with this 5-liner. Now we're ready to talk about what's going on with the iPrecheck.
Fresh news.
You know it.
Fresh news. Fresh news
is coming.
Car gals, do us a quick favor. And if you want to give somebody a quick tip, you may be just now jumping onto the live, or you might have been riding with us for a little while. Go ahead and hit the share button one more time. Tag another car guy, tag another car gal. If they're awake now that it's 9:30, hopefully they're ready for their first cup of coffee. But Blake Norberg is about to share some fresh news with you. Come and get you some. Blake, what's up? What's going on with your business, man? Tell us all about that.
Well, business is booming right now.
Yeah.
So we got the Super Bowl coming up this weekend. As Antonio Brown would say, business is booming. So no, we got a lot of momentum to start the year. I think every dealer in the country is looking for new ideas, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Always looking for new ideas. So the $1 million question I'll ask you guys, that I ask every dealer, general manager, dealer group that I was at yesterday. If I gave you guys and I was at a big agency Thursday as well, and I asked them the same question. If I gave you $100,000 to spend on advertising next month, what new ideas could you come up with to generate hundreds of real customers, form-filled leads, without giving out $50 gift cards, without giving out Visa cards, without discounts, rebates, jiggy offers, without having to lose money, the race to the bottom, so to speak? What new ideas could you come up with?
Wow, great question. That, man, I already can think of a few places right now. I dropped some of that. We would definitely be on a NASCAR, and then after that, we would make sure that we pump as much as we can into digital, just giving testimonials and making sure that people see that the experience with us is the very best that it could be, and something that's different than anywhere else. And I mean, that's mainly where we would focus it, but I would get crazy into the digital world to make sure that, I mean, again, the person that's holding this magic device gets the message where it is that they get everything else, and that they get it as much as possible. But you can do a whole lot with $100,000, a whole lot, car guys and car gals. That's a, I mean, and you can also do a whole lot of nothing with it too. I've seen plenty of people do that. What do you say, Fred?
There's so many things. What I can say is, and I'm going to lead into it, I'm going to leave this for Blake. I'm going to imagine that I'm sitting next to Blake and I'm his teammate. What I would do is I would check out iPrecheck.
That's right.
I would see what I could do with this. What would $100,000 do with iPrecheck? I want to know. So, folks, iPrecheck is hot. It's cool. And what I want you guys to understand is that it's a great tool for the dealer. Huge tool for the dealer. Imagine getting leads that aren't just a name and a number, right? Mm-hmm. And I know Blake's going to get into this deeper, but this lead is a real lead that gives you so much information that you know exactly the type of you basically even know what kind of blood type they have before they come in. But that's how detailed these leads are. And this is how great these leads can be. These are active leads out there currently. So, Blake, what's up with your leads, man?
I call them the Glenn Gary leads.
I love it. Yes. I want some of those, man. I got the big brass balls for them. So give me some of those.
So we have developed a solution. We have a partnership with TransUnion. So we're like an extension of TransUnion. I have a direct access to their database. And so we've built all of our technology around this API to TransUnion. And basically, you know, we have a lead conversion solution for the website. We have a way of re-engaging all of their leads, which we'll talk about here in a second. But as far as the lead conversion solution goes, you know, we have a couple calls to action that's co-branded with TransUnion, a payment button. The customer can actually get their credit score, buying power, rate spread, loan term based on their credit. You know, but the buy-in to the consumer is they have to give us real information, because how many leads these days that come through a CRM? And I was at a dealership yesterday where they just get the name, the email address, or they don't even get the real name information at all. 60% of it's incomplete. And they're chasing air, they're chasing ghosts. They're having to, you know, try to figure out who this customer is, you know, through different avenues. And it's just a lot of wasted capital chasing ghosts. So, right. So we verify that this customer is in fact a real customer. You know, that as soon as the customer inputs their information, they verify the last four of their SSN. That's them. They get their credit score, buying power, you know, rate spread. We show them a vehicle in the inventory with a payment that aligns their expectations. So basically they pencil themselves. Okay. Mm-hmm. And again, we haven't gotten into price. We haven't gotten into discount. We're showing them how easy it is to do business at our dealership, gentlemen. We're taking the stigma out of the car buying process, right?
Love it.
I think I just saw this week where Car Gurus is now trying to do this and take the dealership's financing away from them. We can just bring this process to the dealership. That way they don't have to lose their, you know, pre-qual to a third party. Okay. Right. We teach the dealership to insert this in their Facebook, when they plug this in radio, gentlemen, it becomes a huge funnel where we are just basically turning their website into a huge funnel and generating their own leads. I've got a dealership in Oklahoma City right now. They generate 600 leads a month through iPrecheck, running radio on how easy it is to buy a car and driving them to the website to, you know, in this exclusive market program powered by TransUnion. You know, you can get your free credit score, instant buying power, and it generates 600 leads a month with real complete information. And when customers give you the real information, you know what? I didn't have a whiteboard, but this is my Carl Rowe whiteboard today.
I love it, dude.
We see a 92% connectivity rate.
Yep.
50% of book an appointment, 70% show. Closing ratio wise, what's a good average right now? What, 10%? If you're doing okay, lead to sales. We're 5 to 10% higher. We're not talking about prices or discount. Grosses are typically $500 higher. I'm not really going to talk about gross on this show, but the grosses are good. In 680, or typically is what our average FICO is. Again, I hadn't said the word pre-qualified, pre-approved. Easier way to buy a car. And
it's true. And I love it because you made a solution for not just the dealer, but for a customer to feel confident, have confidence when they go in, understanding what they have.
And when the customer inputs that information, it's a very simple script at the dealership. Hey, congratulations, Mr. Customer. You just pre-qualified for up to $80,000. All we got to do now is book an appointment so you can come in, select your vehicle, complete the loan package, how's 5 o'clock tomorrow work? We're selling the appointment, guys.
I mean, because now they're excited. Like if they're going to give up that much stones, right? If they're going to give up all those stones, they're definitely in the market. And I love that. Now they feel confident knowing that, hey, this was an easy process. All I got to do is go in and pick out a car and leave. Because one thing that they complain the most about a dealership is the time they spend in one.
Yes.
Right? How long it takes to buy a car. It's ridiculous. You know, I fortunately at my store, we have a very streamlined process. The average car buying time is an hour and a half if they only look at one car. But if it takes 2, maybe 2 hours, right? So very quick process. We try to do it right. But by doing what you had, that would streamline that process probably at least by 30 minutes easier. And in other dealerships by hours in a lot of places.
So wait, there's more though.
But wait, there's more.
There's more.
So that's how we also follow up with these leads for 12 times the first 30 days, because most BDCs quit following up after 3 days, right?
Yep.
Or so we're sending them out a personalized dynamic offer, a text, via email. We got a piece of direct mail that goes out. It's got the TransUnion logo. It's got the dealership's logo. It's got a QR code. It's got a personalized offer based on their credit. Because every customer is different. If it's a subprime customer, we don't show them the interest rate. We just show them the pre-qual amount. Somebody that bought a car 2-3 years ago, we show them and their credit score jumped, because credit changes daily, right?
Yeah.
And they're a 700 paying 10%. I'm going to show them a huge savings based on what the dealership plugs in the lender board on the back end. And so, the customer gets this. They see it's validated by TransUnion. It's not just something the dealer's throwing on their website. TransUnion is one of the most recognizable brands. I think 46 according to Forbes. So that's how we create. So we follow up with every one of those leads. They get the direct mail offer as well in the mail. Hits their mailbox 3 to 4 days later. But again, you can bank on these leads as being typically 5 to 10% higher closing ratio than what the store's current average is. So if you're at 10% or at 20, I was at a store the other day, they're at 22%.
Wow.
Lead to sales ratio. So
that is a testament to everybody out there that it is important that you stay centrally focused on making your experience easier for your customer, because it will make business just simply better for you. I don't know how we can beat that drum in a way, or what song we can create that makes sure that gets tuned into everybody's head, that, like we were saying earlier, the level playing field of technology all being in the power of our hand means that either we can try to work against each other like it's a combative chess match, or we can literally line up side by side and help you get to the goal. My son, as a running back, needed people to block for him, needed people to help make a way, right? A receiver is only a receiver if somebody's throwing to him, right? You have to find a way to have the cohesion inside of the goal accomplishment of the customer getting their actual desired result. And when you have multiple touch points, like what he's talking about, folks, where the customer can see and feel that it's unique to them, that this experience is unique to them, you're not just treating them like anybody. You are this deep into knowing about them. It helps to bridge that gap where there is so much stigma stuck to the salesman. And I love that you're a stigma slayer. We're like knights.
Knights in the round table for the car business. That's right.
What we're trying to do is make sure that those go away by raising up our reputation and our tools to help make the experience better.
Yeah, folks, it's as simple as going to his website, www.iprecheck.com. He's going to have some great information on there. He also has an email address. I want to get you guys, I want to throw this out there because I want people to start looking this up if they're on their phone, they're talking, they're listening. If you want to get a hold of Blake, this is his email address, blake@iprecheck.com. He's very easy to get a hold of. Are you okay with putting your phone number out there too?
Absolutely. Put my cell. Call me.
What is your cell phone
number?
number?
Call me, Alabama.
Is it 404-277-3648?
Alex Shonara, that you see everywhere, every billboard in the Southeast. Call me, Alabama.
That's it, man. So I'm hoping I got this number correct. I'm pulling this off of your webpage, but it's 404-277-3648. Is that right?
That's correct. Still
Man,
got the ATL number.
Is his digits. Get him.
I'm gonna get that up here for you. But folks,
Man,
I mean, this
has been
business,
fun.
this thing that he's doing, he's super passionate about it. I know
Yes,
that you
you can
guys
hear
need
it.
to understand it.
So
This is
awesome.
this, call or text him at any point. He'll be happy to give you a demo, explain it a little bit deeper. He's got some great stuff here going on, folks. I'm excited about his product. I'm actually going to probably sit down and talk to him some more about this eventually and have him do a little thing for me because I think it's pretty awesome. I think it's really great.
But wait, there's more.
Oh,
I love it.
So we have the ability to re-engage all the leads coming in, like Cars.com, Auto Trader, website, chat, OEM. A lot of these leads that come in are, I mean, let me say this in a nice way. They're not very good. They're not very high quality. They don't have all the contact info. So we can send out the offer to all these leads on how easy it is to buy a car at your store, know before you go type messaging. Now they fill out the form just like they come on the website and raise their hand. Now you have the Glengarry lead. You have the real name, address, telephone number, email address, and you have a credit snapshot of the customer. Boom, right?
Boom.
So, and we also follow up with those leads for 12 times the first 30 days.
That's so awesome, man.
So we have the auto BDC feature built in. We can re-engage all, and typically if you're getting 1,000 leads a month, 5 to 10% of those should re-engage. So just imagine this: you're sharing those leads with all these other dealers in your area, and they're having the same frustration as you. Just a name and an email address. Now you send out the offer. Now the customer gives us all their information, which we verify through TransUnion, and now we can go back to the formula, right? The Carl Rowe whiteboard here.
Bing bong.
That's a 92% connectivity rate, 50% on book an appointment. I was at a dealership the other day, they're at an 82% show rate. Again, this is the playbook right here. We run this play. We plug this in Facebook. We plug it in.
It's a touchdown.
We plug it in. I even built out doing some SEO work with one of my old Fusion Zone friends on building finance pages to drive more finance organic traffic on transparency, car buying process, bad credit financing, all the finance terms that they have to pay $58 a click for. We're doing this organically with iPrecheck.
That is
dude.
Solutions.
He is. You are brewing solutions here. I can tell you. And here's one thing, folks. Blake has, during this 75 hard that he did, he also read a lot of books, a lot of inspirational books. You could feel it inside of him. He's been inspired. He's been more inspired. You're probably more inspired right now than you've ever been your whole life, I'm assuming. And that's a beautiful test to putting in that type of 75 hard and keep going strong. He loves to read. He talked earlier about Dave Grogan. Let me ask you a question, man. Out of all the books that you read, and I know this is kind of off subject, but I want to throw this at people so somebody can hear this. But out of all the books that you read during that 75 hard, what was your favorite book?
Woo, man, you had to go there.
I did, man, because you read a lot of books. I know you did.
So many of them. I honestly think that the book I liked the most, 75 hard was really good. The Laws of Power was another really good one. Man, I'm reading like 5 books right now, to be honest with you, at the same time. It's
I can tell, man, because the words that are coming out your mouth, they don't sound forced, like you're making stuff up. You can tell that it's become part of your life.
The Traveler with The Traveler's Gift by Andy Andrews was another good one. I mean,
right on.
And he's from LA too, Lower Alabama.
That's right. Yeah, Terry Torline's on here, and he's from Exogloss, and he's like, I'm from the real LA. He's literally in LA, Los Angeles. But, he's enjoying that sunshine weather. But yeah, it's a good time.
Those are just
that's just the name of a few, man.
I read some good sales books, like the Sales Acceleration Formula on HubSpot, Sell Like Crazy. I read a lot of, I'm there's so many books that
I can't name just one.
We can
keep reading, because there's always
on all the books that you can read during 75 hard,
Yeah, dude. And it's amazing when you start reading. A lot of people are like, I'll just read 30 minutes a day. Next thing you know, you're putting in 2-3 hours a day. It's ridiculous because you get hooked on a book.
I just got done reading listen to an audio book that I think everybody should, all the guys out there should listen to. Hard Times Build Strong Men.
Hard times build strong men. I'm going to write that down.
And I think it could not be come at a better time with what we're going through in society and the country. And it's really I don't advise it to my lady friends out there. It's more of a guy's book.
Okay.
But there's some good lessons in there on why society is going, in certain areas. We need more strong men out there,
No doubt about it. And way to be one of them, man. And
Yes.
I love that. And I'm glad that we're all on the same network. I'm here to help lift you up. Whatever you ever need from us, you let us know, Blake. We appreciate all your time you've given us today. Is there anything else you want to talk about iPrecheck before we get out of here today?
Yeah, so we got 2 other pieces too. Like
let's go for it. I'm not bad, dude. Let's bring it all.
I'll give you just the 2-minute drill here. You can run the database. We can take any list of customers. We can find customers that have had their credit score increase 50 points or more since they bought a car. They're subprime with 50% or less left on their loan, or they're a lease customer with 6 lease payments left. And typically in your database or any external data that you give us as well, 8 to 10% of those should be in the market to buy a car. So we can weed through the customers that can't buy and find the customers that should buy. If you're a 680 or, paying, $800 a month, 10% interest, we can get that guy back in and put him in a new car and save him some money. It's a different word track than somebody coming on the website and saying, hey, I want to buy a car.
Yeah.
But, I can typically, the other day I handed a dealership 500 high value targets for their BDC to call or salespeople to work. Or I can drip them in 10 a month to the CRM. It's a different conversation. Service drive, we can look at credit on everybody coming in the service drive. 1 out of 10 should be in the market to buy. A lot of stores don't have a service to sales process, or they're using an equity tool. The problem with the equity tool, customer could have refinanced 8 months ago, or they could be a 400 score that's $8,000 buried. And so we take the help. If you don't have a process, we can help you build a process back there.
Awesome.
So we're finding deals back in the service drive. And then the 5th is we have a new app coming out. We have a $3.99 price point for independent stores. It's a 3-in-1 solution. It's got your app.
I love it, man. Smart.
This is actually the ad that's going to run in the Independent Automobile Builders Association magazine that's coming out here this week. But it's a 3-in-1. You can scan the driver's license. You can see where the customer is located. You have talking tracks for your salespeople built in. You can see a credit snapshot. You can issue an insurance binder for the test drive off of it. If the salesperson doesn't want to ride with you because of COVID,
my God.
Wow.
Oh, my. This is some powerful stuff.
Wow.
So I just hit you with a lot.
Dude, not only did you hit me with a lot, but Blake, you pretty much sold me. I want to sit down with you. I want to schedule an appointment to sit down and talk with you about all these products for a multitude of reasons, not just for where I work, but also for my future. I want to talk about some stuff because you have an amazing thing going on, and I'm
not every dealership is going to need everything. But I think that, we've got dealer out on the West Coast. The guy runs 2,000 people a month through iPrecheck. The grosses are stupid what he does off of that. The ROI is incredible.
Oh man.
And he says it's the most profitable piece of software he has in his dealership. So
dude, I agree. Wow. It's almost like it's like being Bill Belichick and stealing all the plays by recording.
Hey, I got the Bill Belichick hoodie on today, my friend.
Oh, yeah, you do. But no, man,
Speaking of hoodies,
dude, and when I say I want to speak with you, we need to set up a meeting soon. Like I want to sit down and just really get into it a little bit deeper because I really want to talk about it, man. I actually absolutely love what you're talking about here. And I think that the more you talk about, the more excited I get about it. So the only reason we're cutting this thing is because Lou has to get his son is going to be signing for college today for football.
Oh, congratulations, man.
Making a commitment today to his college football. He's going to be playing football out in Iowa.
Yep.
Woo! So Dordt University, it's a good Christian school out there. His son's loves the environment there. He's super excited, but today he's doing his signing.
My whole family's from Iowa, by the way. We're the Southeast transplants.
No, that's so crazy, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be very Iowan. Is that a word? Is that a thing?
I think that's how you say it.
Iowan is a word.
Say that again.
Iowan is a word.
Iowan. Okay,
cool.
Iowan is a word. There we go.
Excellent. You were right on the money.
I know some words. But car gals. I mean, hopefully you've managed to digest some of everything he just poured out
man,
inside of this fresh news.
You guys felt that. I felt
some of that. I mean,
I felt it.
Want to get that inside of your store to make things better for your customer,
folks,
your salespeople, the morale in the store, your ROI. Why would you not want to caffeinate your culture with that kind of a solution brewing in your store?
Dude, he's going to caffeinate your store. So basically what he's going to do for you is he's going to give you a shot of freaking Java. You're going to boom, espresso shot, and you're going to be like, boom, ready to go. Bam. That's exactly what it is. He's caffeinating your culture at your dealership. I'm telling you folks, there's one thing that I know for sure about this guy, and I'm very happy to say it, and I'm going to say it really loud and proud, is that he is
Car Guy Coffee
approved. Right there. He is Car Guy Coffee approved. His product is Car Guy Coffee approved. We're super excited about his product getting out in the market. Folks, if you have any questions, give Blake a call. He will travel to your store and sit down with you. That's what he's about. He's going to get this message to you. He's going to make sure that your store is getting caffeinated. He's going to make sure your store has the best Glen Ross leads in the freaking world. You want these. You want these leads. If you don't have them, you ain't got the right leads, my friends. Make sure you guys reach out to him. 404-277-3648 is his cell phone number, folks. You can go to Blake at iPrecheck.com is his email address. Go to the website, check him out. Do not miss an opportunity to help your store. Folks, the sooner you get in, the better. The thing about anything is, when's the best time to start something, Lou?
Right now.
Right now. So make sure you reach out to him right now before it's too late. Because, folks, well, it's never too late, but you always want to get in early. You don't want to be that person. You want to be the early bird that gets the worm.
That's right.
Blake,
That's right.
Thank you for being here, my friend. This is Car Guy Coffee Podcast. We've been crushing it with our homie, Blake Norberg. He's from LA, folks.
Yes,
Lower Alabama.
Car Guys, Car Gals.
Hey, roll tide.
Dropped inside of that 5-liner, and it was the debate on how many days or how many times it takes to do something to become a habit. Let me tell you something that is consistent inside of each and every one of those theories is that they all started with day one. They all started with one. It took that one decision for you to decide to brew a solution rather than percolate a problem. And that turned into being a habitual solutionary. And that's what we're brewing over here, folks. This is Lou Ramirez, the Car Guy.
And this is Fred Lenartz, the subprime hero.
And you have been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much again, Blake, for being the incredible solutionary.
Thank you, guys.
Car Guys, Car Gals. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brew.
Y'all take care, man. I had a great time, Blake. Thank you so much, folks.
Thank you.
So much education was given out today. I hope you guys took some of that and you're going to go off in your day and have a great one. Hope you guys smiled a little bit. Thank you, Blake. Way to inspire us. Way to get me educated on your product even deeper, man, because I thought I kind of had a gist of it. It's even deeper than I thought. This rabbit hole goes way down there, folks. Make sure you guys keep getting into that thing and learn more about what's going on.
Appreciate it. Take care, man.
Peace out, everybody.